Ready for an epic road trip through the stunning Dolomites? This 5-day itinerary will guide you through breathtaking landscapes, thriving hikes, and charming villages. If you love adventure and want more guides like this, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Let's hit the road and discover the beauty of the Dolomites. Best time to visit. The best time to visit the Dolomites depends on your interests. For hiking and scenic drives, visit from late June to September when the weather is mild and the mountain passes are open. Winter sports enthusiasts should visit between December and March when the region transforms into a snowy wonderland. However, be prepared for crowds during peak summer and ski seasons. For a quieter experience, visit in late spring, May to June, or early autumn, September to November, when the weather is still pleasant but the crowds have thinned. How to get around the Dolomites. The Dolomites are a breathtaking destination, but getting there can be tricky since there's no dedicated airport nearby. You'll need a car for your road trip, so, if possible, driving from a nearby country is the easiest and most cost-effective option. If driving isn't an option, your best bet is to fly into Venice's Marco Polo Airport, about a 3 to 3.5 hour drive from Ortisei, the starting point of this itinerary. Other good options include Bergamo, Milan, or even Munich, though the latter requires crossing borders, which can be a bit challenging with a rental car. Smaller airports like Treviso, Verona, or Bolzano are also worth checking out. Wherever you fly into, renting a car is essential. Where to stay? The Dolomites are vast, and where you stay depends on your itinerary. Popular towns like Cortina d'Ampezzo, Bolzano, and Ortisei offer a range of accommodations from luxury hotels to budget-friendly hostels. For a quintessential mountain experience, consider staying in a traditional rifugio, mountain hut, or an agriturismo, farm stay, which typically costs around $80 to $150 USD per night. Day 1. Morning. Lago di Carezza. Before heading straight to your hotel in Ortisei St. Ulrich, make a detour to visit the stunning Lago di Carezza, also known as Carezza. If you're coming from Venice or Bergamo, it's only an extra 30 minutes, 23 kilometers or 14 miles to reach the lake. If you're driving from Innsbruck or Munich, it's a bit more of a scenic route, with an extra hour, 45 kilometers to 28 miles, to get to Lago di Carezza. Nestled in the Valdega Valley, Lago di Carezza is often called the Rainbow Lake due to its dazzling array of colors. Legend has it a beautiful mermaid once lived in the lake, and a wizard fell deeply in love with her. In an attempt to win her over, the wizard, after consulting a local witch, created a rainbow that stretched from the mountains to the lake and disguised himself as a jewelry salesman. However, in his excitement, he forgot to change his appearance, and the mermaid recognized him instantly before vanishing into the water forever. Enraged, the wizard smashed the rainbow into pieces and threw them into the lake, where they still shine today. Quite the story, right? Whether or not you believe the legend, the emerald green waters of Lago di Carezza are undeniably mesmerizing and make it one of the most beautiful lakes in the Dolomites. Since it's easily accessible, it's a must-stop on your Dolomites itinerary. There's a parking lot near the lake where you can park your car. The first 15 minutes of parking are free, and then it's about $1 USD for 1 hour, $2 USD for 2 hours. From the parking lot, it's just a short walk to the lake. At the lake's entrance, you'll find a wooden viewing platform where you can learn more about the lake's history, including the devastating storm in 2018 that destroyed over 5,000 hectares of forest in the South Tyrol region. Afterward, take a leisurely stroll around the lake along the loop trail, which takes about 20 to 25 minutes to complete. Although the entire lake is fenced off to protect its beauty, it's still one of the best photography spots in the Dolomites. You may see photos on social media where people are standing right by the water on the rocks, but please respect the rules and stay outside the fenced area. Afternoon, arriving to Ortisei. After soaking in the beauty of Lago di Carezza and snapping countless photos of the stunning scenery, it's time to head to Ortisei St. Ulrich, your home base for the next few days. From Lago di Carezza, it's about a 1 hour drive, 55 kilometers to 34 miles, to reach Ortisei at a leisurely pace. Nestled in the heart of the Dolomites, Val Gardena Ortisei is a charming little town known for its hand-carved wooden sculptures. The local woodcarvers have passed down this tradition through generations, and you can still see their beautiful creations throughout the town. Ortisei is one of the best places to stay in the Dolomites, and it's a favorite among travelers due to its proximity to stunning spots like the Seceda ridgeline and Alpe di Siusi Sese Alm. More on those later. If you have extra time on your first day, take a leisurely stroll through the town and admire the traditional hotels and picturesque buildings. A must-visit spot in Ortisei is the pedestrian area between the Chapel of St. Ulrich and the Antonius Church, often described as the most beautiful shopping street in the Dolomites. You'll find charming boutiques and local shops that are perfect for a relaxed afternoon. For this Dolomites road trip, I recommend spending your first 2 nights in Ortisei. We personally stayed at Hotel Angelo Engel, a lovely 4-star family-run hotel with a large private garden, indoor and outdoor pools, and a fantastic spa. We had an amazing experience and highly recommend it to anyone. Day 2. Morning, Santa Maddalena Church. It's about a 45-minute drive, 35 kilometers or 22 miles from Ortisei to the charming town of Santa Maddalena, where your first stop of the day will be the beautiful Santa Maddalena Church. With the dramatic Odal Mountains as its backdrop, this picturesque little church is the symbol of Val di Funes and one of the most photographed spots in the entire Dolomites. Just a heads up, you can't drive right up to the church. You'll need to park your car in the center of town. There are several parking options, and I've marked them on the map shared at the beginning of the article, so be sure to refer back to that for exact locations. To reach the famous viewpoint for that iconic shot, you'll need to take a short, easy hike of about 20 minutes. It's mostly just a walk uphill across from the church. Look for Panchina Panoramica on Google Maps, and you'll have no trouble finding it. Once you've soaked in the views, you can visit the church itself. It's open daily, and inside, you'll find a beautiful Baroque-style altar and some fascinating wall paintings. Insider tip: arrive early in the morning for the best lighting and to avoid crowds at this popular spot. Also, don't forget to bring your camera. The view from the top is simply stunning. Church of St. John in Ranui. The second church on today's itinerary is the Church of St. John in Ranui, a charming little Baroque church set against a breathtaking mountain backdrop. It's about a 30-minute walk from Santa Maddalena if you're up for some light exercise, but if you're feeling a bit lazy, no worries. You can drive and park closer where it's just a short 5 to 10-minute walk to the church. Near the parking lot, you'll find a wooden viewing platform which offers the perfect spot to capture stunning photos of the church with the dramatic mountains in the background. The church itself is open to visitors with an entrance fee of about $4 per person. It's also available for small events and weddings if you're dreaming of a romantic ceremony in a picturesque setting. Evening, sunset at Alpe di Siusi. After visiting the beautiful churches in Val di Funes, it's time to head to one of the most iconic spots in the Dolomites, Alpe di Siusi, also known as Sese Alm. This vast mountain plateau is the largest in Europe and offers breathtaking views of the Sasso Lungo, Sasso Piatto, and Silier peaks, a must-see on any Dolomites road trip. Before you go, it's important to know that driving to Alpe di Siusi is strictly regulated. To avoid hefty fines, up to hundreds of dollars, you'll need to follow the rules closely. You have 3 options for reaching Alpe di Siusi. First, you can stay overnight at one of the few hotels on the plateau. If you're staying at a hotel, you're allowed to drive up, but only as far as your accommodation, and you can only do this once on your arrival day. 2 great hotel options near the famous viewpoints are Hotel Icaro and Sport Hotel Zona. If you're staying somewhere else, the easiest way to reach Alpe di Siusi from Ortisei is by taking the cable car. A one-way ticket costs around $18, while a road trip ticket is about $27. The cable car typically runs from 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m., which is perfect for daytime visits, but unfortunately, it won't work for sunrise or sunset trips. The schedule varies by season, so be sure to check the exact timetable on their official website. For sunrise or sunset visits, your best option is to drive up to Kampash and park at the P2 parking lot. Keep in mind that driving is restricted between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m., so if you arrive earlier or later, you'll be in the clear. After parking, it's about a 1-hour hike to reach the famous viewpoint. Insider tip: if you're aiming for those magical sunset moments, plan your timing carefully and bring a flashlight for late evening hikes. The views are absolutely worth the effort. Day 3. Since it's already the third day of your Dolomites road trip, it's time to check out of your hotel in Ortisei and head to your next stop, either La Villa or Cortina d'Ampezzo. We'll dive into those details a bit later. But before hitting the road, you can't miss the chance to explore the breathtaking Seceda ridgeline. The cable cars conveniently depart from Ortisei, so the best plan is to check out in the morning, leave your luggage in the car, and head up to Seceda for a hike. After enjoying the stunning views and trails, you'll still have plenty of time to drive to your next hotel, with a scenic stop at Passo Gardena along the way. Morning, hiking at Seceda. As I mentioned earlier, the cable cars that take you up to Seceda depart from Ortisei. If you can't leave your car at your hotel after checking out, don't worry, there's a large parking lot right at the cable car station. A round-trip ticket for the cable car costs about $43 per person, and it operates from 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Seceda is located within the Puez-Orel Nature Park and is famous for its dramatic ridgeline, with jagged peaks and sheer drop-offs that create some of the most stunning views in the Dolomites. Once you're at the top, you'll find countless hiking trails, so it's all about choosing what suits your style. If you're feeling adventurous and have the time, you can even hike all the way down to Ortisei. No matter what, walking along the ridgeline is a must. After you exit the cable car, turn left and start walking uphill. There's a sign pointing to the viewpoint, so you won't miss it. If hiking isn't your thing, you can head back to the cable car station after soaking in the views. But if you're up for a bit of exercise, hike down the meadow and visit Baita Troyer Hütte, where they serve amazing apple pies. From there, you can continue on to Pirolongia, those twin spires that resemble the rocks from The Lion King, and then the Refugio Firenze. Or, if you prefer, simply head back to the cable car station. It's totally up to you. Insider tip: if you decide to hike to Baita Troyer Hütte, don't miss out on their apple pie. It's a local favorite and perfect for a post-hike treat. And remember to bring a light jacket, as the weather can change quickly up in the mountains. Afternoon, Passo Gardena. Passo Gardena, Gardena Pass, is a breathtaking mountain pass that connects Val Gardena with Val Badia, and it's one of the most scenic drives in the Dolomites. Since you'll be heading towards La Villa or Cortina d'Ampezzo from Ortisei, you'll pass through it naturally, and trust me, it's well worth a stop to soak in the incredible views. There's a small hutte called Refugio Frara where you can park your car. From there, it's just a short walk to a fantastic viewpoint, which only takes a few minutes to reach. It's the perfect spot to stretch your legs and take in the stunning mountain scenery. While this is the starting point for a challenging 11.5 kilometer, 7.1 mile hike, I wouldn't recommend it for beginners, and honestly, we skipped it ourselves. Instead, focus on enjoying the views without the intense trek. For an extra special experience, try to arrive at Passo Gardena about a half an hour before sunset. The golden hour light transforms the landscape into something magical, making it an ideal time to capture some unforgettable photos. Arriving to La Villa or Cortina d'Ampezzo. For the second half of your Dolomites road trip, I suggest switching up your base and staying at a hotel in La Villa, Cortina d'Ampezzo, or one of the nearby towns. The simple reason? The places you'll be visiting next are quite far from Ortisei, and it doesn't make sense to spend hours driving back and forth when you could be exploring instead. While Cortina d'Ampezzo is the most popular choice among travelers, we opted to stay at Hotel La Majun in La Villa Stern, and we absolutely loved it. This charming 4-star hotel is family-run, and what makes it extra special is that the owners actually live there. Their mission is to make you feel at home, and they do just that with their warm hospitality. The service was top-notch, and the panoramic views from the hotel were nothing short of breathtaking. Waking up to those mountain vistas is a memory you carry with you long after your trip. Insider tip: La Villa is less crowded than Cortina, but still perfectly located for exploring the Dolomites. Plus, the personal touch of staying at a family-run hotel like Hotel La Majun adds a special charm to your trip. Day 4. Morning, Lago di Braies. Kick off your 4th day of your Dolomites road trip by visiting one of the most iconic lakes in the region, Lago di Braies, also known as Prague's Wildsee. With its turquoise green waters and stunning mountain backdrop, this picturesque alpine lake is a dream for nature lovers and hikers alike. Due to its popularity, Lago di Braies can get incredibly crowded during the day. To truly enjoy its beauty and tranquility, plan to arrive early in the morning when you have the lake almost to yourself. If you're coming from La Villa, it's about a 1 hour 10-minute drive, 60 km 37 miles, while from Cortina d'Ampezzo, it's only a 50-minute drive, 46 km 29 miles. There are 3 parking lots near the lake, but they fill up quickly, especially the closest one. I can't emphasize enough how important it is to get there early. By 9 or 10 a.m., finding a parking spot can be nearly impossible. Once you're at the lake, there are a couple must-do activities. Renting a rowboat from the boathouse is a magical way to explore the lake's turquoise waters. The boathouse is open from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. in July and August, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. from the end of May to the end of June, and 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. from September to early November. Boat rentals cost around $27 USD for 30 minutes or $38 USD for an hour. Keep in mind that reservations aren't possible, so arrive early to secure your spot. After your boat ride, take a leisurely walk around the lake. The trail is about 4 kilometers, 2.5 miles long, and takes 1 to 2 hours to complete, offering stunning views at every turn. Afternoon, Lago di Limides. In the afternoon, make your way to Lago di Limides, one of the Dolomites' best-kept secrets. This small picturesque lake offers stunning panoramic views and incredible reflections of the surrounding mountains, including Mount Lagazuoi and Tofana di Roses. It's a mystery why more visitors don't flock here, but just that adds to its charm. You might have the lake all to yourself even in the middle of the day. To get to Lago di Limides, drive to Refugio Colgalina and park your car in the lot across the street. From Lago di Braies, it's about a 1 hour 15-minute drive, 62 km 39 miles, and the route takes you through Cortina d'Ampezzo. If you haven't had a chance to explore Cortina, this is a great opportunity to make a quick stop and check out the town. Once you've parked, the hike to Lago di Limides takes about 25 to 30 minutes. It's a fairly easy 2 km 1.2 mile hike, but be prepared for a steady uphill climb. The trails aren't always the smoothest, so make sure you're wearing proper hiking shoes. After rain, the trail can get muddy and slippery, so it's best to visit when the weather has been dry for a few days. Insider tip: bring a picnic and enjoy some quiet time by the lake. It's a peaceful spot that offers breathtaking views without the usual crowds. And don't forget your camera, because the reflections of the mountains on the water are simply magical. Lago di Valparola. It's just a quick 5-minute drive, 3 km 1.9 miles in the direction of La Villa, so if you're staying there, you'll pass by it anyway. There are parking lots at both ends of the lake, making it easy to leave your car and take in the stunning views of the lake and surrounding panorama. Although you can see the lake from the main road, it's worth getting a little closer. The lake is easily accessible via a short 5-minute walk along path number 24, which leads right down to the water. Day 5. Morning, hiking around Cime di Lavaredo. The Cime di Lavaredo loop hike is hands down one of the best hikes in the Dolomites, and no Dolomites itinerary is truly complete without witnessing these iconic 3 peaks. The entire loop is about 10 kilometers, 6.5 miles long, and since it's a fairly easy hike, it's accessible to most hikers. The loop typically takes around 3 to 4 hours to complete. We personally finished it in 3.5 with a few photo stops, not counting a half-hour break at Dresinenhütte. The hike begins and ends at Refugio Oronzo, where there are several parking lots available. You can even stay overnight in a camper. However, there's only one road leading up to Refugio Oronzo, and since it's a private road, there's a fee of about $33 USD to drive up with a regular car. It's best to start early in the morning because once the parking lot fills up, they may close the road and your only other option would be a strenuous hike up. Getting to Refugio Oronzo takes about 1.5 hours, 55 kilometers, 35 miles from Le Villa, and 40 minutes, 22 kilometers, 14 miles from Cortina d'Ampezzo. The hike itself is straightforward and it's hard to go the wrong way. The best route is to hike counterclockwise, starting by heading towards Refugio Lavaredo. This first section is the easiest since it's mostly flat. After that, the trail heads uphill and becomes a bit more challenging. Your next checkpoint is Dreisenenhütte, Refugio e Locatelli, where you'll find 2 beautiful lakes and some caves. The most difficult part comes after this, as you'll need to descend into the valley, only to climb up a hill again. While still manageable, the elevation gain adds a bit more difficulty. The final checkpoint is Malgalangalm, after which the route climbs uphill once more. Soon after, you'll spot Refugio Oronzo, bringing you full circle. All in all, completing the Tre Cime di Lavaredo hike is a must on any Dolomites road trip. Due to the stunning views, it's a popular hike, so try to arrive early to beat the crowds. Insider tip: pack a picnic or grab a snack at one of the refuges along the way. A meal at the mountain huts typically costs around 15 to 20 USD. Afternoon: hiking to Cadini di Misurina. If you've still got some energy after completing the Tre Cime di Lavaredo loop hike, I highly recommend adding an extra adventure to your day. There's an unbelievably beautiful viewpoint along the Cadini di Misurina hiking trail that would be a shame to miss on your Dolomites road trip. Hiking to Cadini di Misurina is one of the lesser-known gems in the Dolomites, so it's much less crowded than the Tre Cime di Lavaredo trail. Both hikes start from Refugio Oronzo, so it makes perfect sense to tackle both in one day, especially since you've already paid the 33 USD toll fee. However, to reach the Cadini di Misurina viewpoint, you'll need to head in the opposite direction of the Tre Cime trail. The hike to the viewpoint takes around 35 to 45 minutes depending on your fitness level. It's only a 2-kilometer, 1.2-mile hike from Refugio Oronzo, but it's also a bit steep, 112 meters, 370 feet elevation gain. Keep in mind that this hike isn't suitable for those with a fear of heights. Insider tip: only attempt this climb if the trail is dry and you're confident in your footing. It's crucial to be careful. Slipping on this trail could lead to serious injury. Thanks for joining us on this unforgettable journey through the Dolomites. We hope this 5-day itinerary inspires your next adventure and helps you make the most of every moment in this stunning region. If you enjoyed this video and want more travel guides and tips, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We've got plenty more exciting trips coming your way. Safe travels, and see you in the next adventure.